All right, welcome back to the channel. Today we're working on the Z again. So we're gonna need to get this bad boy in the lift, and we'll show you what we're gonna get into right after this. All right, here's what we're gonna get into this evening, or I should say today. These are downpipes for the, you can tell it's a 4-bolt exhaust flange. You can see that it's got a nice little divider right here. Divides the exhaust as it do that here. This is the wastegate side, that is the turbine side. And then they carry a separate paths until they come down here and merge. And this is a nice 3-inch outlet. And these are going to mate up to these. All right, what we're looking at here is 3-inch mid pipes, test pipes, whatever you want to call them. But what they do is at the end, they neck down to 2.5 inch. So they can bolt up to the Greddy Trust exhaust that I have on this car. As you can see in the back, you got those nice exhausts. And over here in this box, we've got a full 3-inch system, mid pipes all the way back to the tailpipes. The reason we're not putting this one on yet is because these 3-inch test pipes are not available. I just can't find them anywhere. I've tried to look for used parts. I don't know where they're at anywhere, but I was able to find the 3-inch to the 2.5. So we're gonna put these on for now. And when the 3-inch test pipes are available, then I will put the 3-inch test pipes in, and then we'll put that other exhaust up under the car as well. So without further ado, we're gonna get started. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect the O2 sensor. So I'm not sure which wire I have to disconnect, but I know I have to disconnect one. I believe it's this one, but I'm not sure. It could be this one. We're gonna find that out, and there's one over on that side, and there's also one over on this side. So again, we've got to figure out which ones to pull, and that'll be that. So let's get after it. Okay, we've got the driver's side O2 sensor disconnected. You can tell that it runs down to the O2 sensor down there, and then the passenger side O2 sensor lives kind of in this area here, and you can see it's disconnected as well. So now we're gonna lift the car up and start working from underneath the car and unbolting stuff. All right, here we go. Whoopsie. Whoops. Well, good thing you won't see them. Try this again. All right, first things first, I'm gonna get some WD-40 and get them all on all these exhaust bolts back here. These look pretty new, so I'm not too worried about these. It's these guys up here that I'm worried about the most, and I'll probably have to drop the starter. So hindsight, I should have disconnected the battery. So actually, I'm gonna put the car back down and I will disconnect the battery so that I can take out the starter. So this is the starter right here. So let's get after it. All right, I got the mid pipes out, or the test pipes, whatever you want to call them. Check out this monstrosity here. I had to remove the starter. You can see the starter goes up there. There's the flywheel and the clutch. And I've got this bolted in because whoever, not blaming anybody, because these harnesses are very brittle and the connectors are just kind of fading away to nothing. Whoever installed starter last just heat shrinked, crimped and heat shrinked the wire on there, so I can't take the starter out. So there's the starter, and back here is the connector. And you can see the connector does not come off on the backside. So instead of having it hanging from a bungee in my face, I just found a longer bolt and just bolted it in for right here for now, so it would stay and be out of the way. That way I can get up. Let's get a light up in here. That way I can get up in here, take the heat shields off, and get into the bolts that I need to get to up on the turbo. So you can see, there we go. That's a better idea, better look. What's going on? Not an easy task to do right now, so wish me some luck. All right, here it comes. So I got those 2 bolts off down there. There's 2 bolts on the top side, and I'm just going to pry this guy off. Looks like I need 2 hands for this, so I'm going to put the camera down for a minute. All right, we got 1 downpipe out. Let's take a look up in there. See, I got my flashlight up here. And there we go. So that's what we're looking at. I'm gonna reuse that stock gasket, I think. Maybe, I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah, we're looking good. The other side, not so much. Heat shield out. And this one, it don't look too bad. There's the 1 bolt right there. We got, it's like 2 right there. Holy crap. That looks impossible. I don't even know how I'm gonna get in there. All right, well, we're gonna continue this tomorrow. All right, timeout. All right, we are back at it. If you guys recall, it's the next day, and ooh, that's right, sorry. So we got the passenger, I'm sorry, the driver's side out. I don't know how I'm gonna put it back together, but we're gonna figure that part out. And then now we got the passenger side to do. So I can get my eyes on a couple of these bolts, but there's a blind one up there I can't really see, and then there's really not a lot of room to get into these bolts. They're right in here, but I think I'll be able to do it. So wish me luck here. Well, just gonna say it, this transmission is in the way. I cannot get up to the top bolts at all. It's just way too cramped. I can get on the bolt, but I can't actually turn the ratchet. So I'm gonna take the old transmission out. So shouldn't be too bad. Gotta take this heat shield off, disconnect the drive shaft from back here, pull the drive shaft out, drop the transmission mount and then I should be able to get to all the bell housing bolts and disconnect the slave cylinder here as well. So yeah, not what I wanted to do, but yeah, I'm gonna have to do it because there's just no other way to get that downpipe out without removing the transmission. So for those of you that have been wondering, yeah, it's, I mean, unless you got some super secret tools that I don't know about, let me know in the comments. All right, here we are, transmission off the car. See the clutch, got good access to our bolts up in here. So those two should be pretty easy to get to. The ones that I'm worried about are up in here. Let's see if I can get a good shot of those in here. So there's one right there, and the other one is tucked in there. I can't even get a flashlight on it. That's how freaking tucked it is. I have no idea how to get to that bolt. So if you guys are watching this and I still haven't gotten this downpipe off, tell me, how in the heck do I get to those two bolts there? So I don't know. Let's check it out. Whew, that was fun to say the least. You can see I got both downpipes out. I have no idea how I got these out. These were the biggest pain. Actually, this one I couldn't even get a ratchet on or a wrench on. I ended up taking a big hammer and smacking the downpipe because I was frustrated, and this one came loose. So I was able to just loosen it with my fingers. This one was a lot more of a pain in the neck. If we come over here, let's see, I customized the tool. So this is a ratcheting wrench end. You can see here it's 12 mil, and I was just able to get in there with my fingers and just wiggle that out. So I had to custom make a tool there. And then the thing that was kind of the biggest pain in the neck was this heat shield has a 10 mil bolt right here, and it's very difficult to get to. So that was a struggle to say the least, but long story short, we are downpipe free. So time to put in the new downpipes. See how much of a pain in the neck that is. All right. Alrighty, well, we got the downpipes in. They're mounted all in there solid and nice. And I decided I'm gonna replace the clutch. So I'm gonna pull that clutch out. We're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bolts. And that will just come right out. And then I got the new stuff right here. So this is the, can't remember what level clutch this is. And it looks like I got the stainless steel clutch line, bleed the clutch out. Got the rear main seal kit here. Let's see, I got a well, I'm not sure what that is. I'll have to check my invoice. Got a trucker hat like that, and then here we go. Here's the clutch. Just got a full face clutch, nothing fancy. And then here looks like to be the flywheel. So that's the flywheel that Z1 provides with their clutch kit. And then it looks like the clutch itself is in there. So I'll get after it. Let's hit it. All right, you can see I got a weather pack connector on the starter now for that ground wire. Got the matching female end over here. And we are going to put that transmission back in the car. So I've got it all leveled out. Nice benefits of having a transmission jack. You can see it's all tilted so that I can get that in there and just push the transmission straight in. Hopefully it lines up real nice. So that is our next objective. All right, so it looks like I got the downpipes all buttoned up. See, they're all installed back here. Up in here, we're all buttoned up, as well as over here. Starter's back in, new wires all plugged in, transmission's back in, new clutch is back in. This bolt right here was a pain in the neck to get to. As well as quite a few others, but these new downpipes did give a little bit more room to get into the bolts, get a little bit more access, so that was nice. I am going to be replacing this drive shaft, this stock drive shaft, with a Z1 one-piece unit. The thing is really heavy, so I was like, well, let me get a one-piece aluminum. So I decided to do that last minute. They're out of stock. They're supposed to have them back in mid-July. So that'll be another video coming up. Next thing to do is to fill the transmission up with fluid. So I've already drained it and I've already loosened the plug up there. So what we're gonna do is get our transmission fluid, which is over here. And I got a new pump, and we're gonna pump the fluid back up into the transmission. And then the car will come down, and then we'll start putting the top side back together. All right. Got the fill nut all back in. Got the bottom bolt all filled back in. And I'm gonna get some brake clean and just clean up some of the goop that's left over from doing all the stuff. And then we'll go back up topside. All right, so now I get to put this stuff back together. One thing I did get is I got a new shift boot. It's a two-piece type of unit. I'll show you what I got when I get it out. But I got a two-piecer, and then I got a new plate mount because the plate mount was actually busted when I got it. And put that in. And I'm not going to put everything together in this video because I'm going to change out the ECU. I've got some stuff to do for another video that I'm going to put together. So I'll keep that one for the next video. But we'll at least get it some resemblance of what it's supposed to look like and get it somewhat back together. All right, so this is what ripped when I pulled it out. So the shift boot. So I got a new one of those, and I got a new lower one of those. And then over here, this was still marginal, but you can see that this was beginning to let loose. Actually, yeah, that's big let loose. So I got a new one of those. So I'll put the part numbers down in the link in the video, but we're gonna get out with the old, put in with the new. All right, it looks like this boot doesn't really like to fit with this shifter. So what I did is I dropped the shifter down, took this bolt out, dropped the shifter down, and put the boot in, and then I pulled the shifter up with this bolt. And you can see it's kind of goofy, but it should not get in the way of any of the shifts. It's nice and clean, and it should provide that level of protection that we need from the elements coming up from the transmission. So the next to go on is this boot. So there's an arrow to go frontwards, and we'll put that on next. Alrighty, got that on there. You can see there's these little nubs that protrude from the bottom boot, and they come up in the top corners here as well. You just want to make sure that you stretch this top boot over those nubs so that they come through the perforated holes. All right, so I replaced the shifter boot and the factory e-brake boot with boots from Interior Innovation, and if you notice, matches the steering wheel real nice. Nice new leather here. Very impressed with that. I only had one casualty. The little light bulb fixture that goes into the cigarette lighter, it snapped off on me, and thankfully Z1 Motorsports has one in stock, hopefully. At least that's what their website said, and I ordered one. We'll see how long it takes to get here, but that's really easy to change out. No big deal. Next thing to do is to connect the battery and start it up. Notice I still have the dash out, and I still have the computer exposed. And that might give you a hint as far as what I'm doing next. But for this project, we're gonna call it done. All right, so the first start went well. You can see I'm in tune 1. You can see that, there you go. And everything is back together. Tune 1 is pump gas. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna drive it around. One thing I noticed right away is the clutch engages right off the floor. So I don't know if you can see that or hear that, but it is right off the floor. I'm sure that'll loosen up. And I can't really technically get on it too much until I break this clutch in. Give it at least, you know, a tank of gas or two, maybe. Knock on wood. Anyway, let's go check it out. One thing I can tell right away is that I can hear the turbos a lot more. So that's one thing I notice. I'm gonna hop on the freeway and do a freeway pull and see how that feels. All right, I was editing this video and I couldn't believe that I forgot to reconnect the O2 sensor So that's what I'm gonna attempt to do right now. That the car is cooled off pretty well. But if we see here, here's the O2 sensor wire. Actually, I'm just gonna reach in there with my hand and try and get it. Get the throttle cable out of the way. Pull that up. And I think it's gonna have to go down and around that harness. So I'm gonna have to put the camera down and two-hand it here for just a second. All right, here we go. Plug the O2 sensor back in and slide that back on its little placeholder. There we go. On to the other side. This one looks like maybe it's a little bit easier. There we go. Here it is right here. And it plugs into, looks like this guy over here. So let's plug that guy back in there. And we are good to go. And now the job is done. Check. Well, overall driving impressions, it just drives like normal. The clutch is just a little bit closer off the floor than it was before. And like I said, I could hear the turbos a little bit better. Seemed like boost came on a little bit sooner, but again, I didn't really push it too hard. I went on the freeway, did a couple freeway pulls. Yeah, again, with the O2 sensors not connected, I don't know how close that was to reality. And according to Specialty Z, I probably need to get a custom tune. I still need to set timing. There's still a lot of stuff I need to do to get that car like up to prime condition. So still a lot of work to do to get that thing dialed in. Again, that last 20% usually takes about 80% of the time. So knocking out the big stuff so I can chip away at the small stuff. So again, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Again, if you have any tips or tricks for all the stuff that I did on that video, again, I don't know everything about the Z32 chassis. I'm still learning, yeah, it seemed to go fairly well. Anyway, keep an eye out for some future videos on that car. Again, I'm doing the Z1 drive shaft, single one-piece drive shaft. Show you that video, as well as I need to do a fuel pump. And you saw in the video, the clock only said the number 1, and that's because the ECU that I installed in that car is a map switching ECU, which means that I can switch between pump gas and E85. So that should give me a nice jump in power as well, especially out here in Arizona, because it is hot, and that E85 content really makes a big difference out here, especially in the summer. Anyway, again, thank you guys for watching, and always keep an eye out for those future videos. Have a great one. All right, bye.